Which programming language should you learn first? Hey everybody, this is Gregory, the programming coach, and today I wanted to answer one of the hottest questions, which is, which programming language should I learn first? Now, before I answer that question, I want to be 100% honest with you, which is there is no one right answer to that question, but I can tell you a very good option, especially if you want to learn web development or mobile development. And the answer is JavaScript. And not just JavaScript, but also React.js. Let me explain. There's all kinds of videos out there that are going to tell you exactly which programming language you should learn first, but what they fail to mention is that you don't just need a programming language, you also need a framework. You need a set of tools that allow you to build things without having to write every single little piece of code yourself. And that's what a framework is. That's what a framework does. That's what React.js is. Also, when you're learning to code, you want to learn the programming language as you go, like while you're building things, and you want to learn it in the context of a framework that you're going to be using to build applications. This is a much more efficient way to learn, and it's going to allow you to start building things faster and potentially even get a job faster. So let me explain why you should pick React.js. And that's really the point. You need to pick. You need to pick something. You don't want to be like every other beginning programmer out there and jump around from language to language to language to language. You want to pick one language and learn it very well. And you also want to pick a framework that you learn with that language that will enable you to start building things. And you want to pick a language that's already being used in the industry and is on an upward trend. Now, if you have fear of committing to a programming language, you can always change later. And if you learn JavaScript, you can even change JavaScript frameworks later. But for now, if you're jumping around, you need to stop and pick. And JavaScript and React.js are a really good place to start. So, but why is JavaScript such a good option, and why pick React.js? Okay, so let's look at JavaScript first. For one, you can get started so fast with JavaScript. You don't need to download anything. You don't need to install anything. You can get started right away with a web browser like Google Chrome or Safari or Internet Explorer. I actually don't choose Internet Explorer. The second reason is if you want to learn web development, JavaScript is basically mandatory. So if you start with JavaScript, you're going to already know something you're going to have to know later, which is a very efficient way to learn. And the third reason is, if you learn JavaScript first, you'll already know a language that can be used on the server with a framework like Node.js. Okay, so what about React? Why learn React? Why build things with React? Reason number one is that React was built and used by Facebook. So if it's good enough for Facebook, it's going to be good enough for you to get started and start building things with it. This also proves that React is industrial strength. It's something that can be used to build real applications, not just toy projects. You can build toy projects, but the important thing to know is that it can build real projects that real people who will pay you real money will use to build apps. And the second reason you would want to learn React is because React is on an upward trend. And it's a strong contender to become an industry standard for JavaScript front-end frameworks, which is a good thing for you as a developer, because it means if you start learning something now that's going to continue to grow, that skill is going to be in demand. And if that demand grows faster than the supply, if people know how to do it, that's very good news for you, the developer, because that means you can be well paid. That means you can know a skill that people are willing to pay for, and you're the right guy for the job. So the third reason to learn React is because of its ecosystem. So it's already been around for a couple years, and it's already been used on real projects. So that means there are lots of resources for you, the developer, to lean on. So if there's something you want that you don't want to build yourself, a lot of times there's a library available for React that you can just pull in and use in your project. What this also means is that if you ever run into a problem that you can probably get on Google to help you find some answers that will allow you to get unstuck. And this is very helpful, especially coming from someone who taught themselves how to code. You want to be able to find answers. You want to be able to be among the ranks of others who are on the same journey as you. So reason number 4 of why you should learn React, and the last reason, is you can build mobile apps with it with a tool called React Native. And what's really cool about this is that you can write code one time and make an app for different app stores. So you can write the code once and make an iOS app and an Android app out of it. Normally, you would have to learn a language like Swift and write an iOS app, or you would have to learn a language like Java and write an Android app. But with React Native, you can write code one time with JavaScript, and it will build an app for each app store. Now, if that sounds too good to be true, just ask companies like Facebook or Airbnb or Instagram, who have all used React Native for mobile development. Okay, so those are my tips on the best programming language to learn in 2018. And remember, you don't just want to learn a programming language, you also want to learn a framework that allows you to build things. And you want to stop just jumping around from language to language. You want to pick something and commit. And JavaScript and React.js are a really great place for you to start as a beginner. Now, if you want to see more videos on how to get started with React.js and JavaScript, I'm going to be uploading more to this channel. I really hope all that was helpful. If I missed anything, please leave a comment below. Until next time, thanks for watching The Programming Coach.